My name is Jim Rolfe, and welcome to Guitar College and 99-cent guitar lessons. This is the first installment for easy classical guitar, and we're going to look at a piece by Matteo Carcassi called Study in E minor. It's in waltz time, or 3/4. It's an arpeggio steady and has a repetitive right hand pattern through the entire piece. All our chord forms for the left hand are in first position. Most are fairly easy. There's even a few one finger chords in there. But before we get into breaking down the piece, I'd like to talk about a few technique issues. And the first one is your nails. If you're not using your nails, that's fine. You can play just with your fingertips. But it might be a good idea to tune into this in case you do grow them out. So of course our left hand, we want those trimmed down as far as we can. But on the right hand, it's recommended that you file the length of your nail with the file instead of using clippers. And file them in one direction. So once you get the length where you want it, the angle in which you file the nail is very important. I don't know if you've played and you feel your fingers catching on the strings or a lot of clicking with your nail. Well, that's because it's not filed at the right angle. So you want to create a little shelf. So I made a diagram here that hopefully will explain it. So let's take a look at it. As you can see, if you cut or if you file your nail perpendicular to the file, your result will be number 1. You can see how the 90-degree cut will click on the string or even catch. Now if we look at number 2, this is the better way to do it. You file your nail on a 45-degree angle against the file after you cut the length. Here I have some 400 sandpaper wrapped around a nail file. So we want to avoid going straight down, filing our nail. Instead, we want to do it at a 45-degree angle and make a shelf. I hope you can see that. So if you feel your nail catch on the string when you play, or you hear a lot of excessive clicking, you're going to want to file your nail at that 45-degree angle. You want the nail to roll off the string. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is the way you place your right hand, and it's fairly simple. You just want to make sure your knuckles are parallel with the strings and that your thumb is out front. This will help you to dig into the bass. Here is a basic model. Some pieces have their melody in the bass, so it's going to be important to develop a strong thumb so you can bring that voice out. Next, we want to look at how we play the strings. In classical guitar, there are 2 main strokes we use, the rest stroke and the free stroke. Let's take a look. When we play a rest stroke, we run into the adjacent string. For a free stroke, we do not. So we use free strokes when we do arpeggio steadies or pieces with arpeggio sections. Let's take a look at one more right hand technique that I'd like you to explore. I'd like you to try this technique for this piece, setting down before you start your pattern. This set down and peel off technique will train you to keep your fingers close to the strings, and that's desirable. That's the way you'll develop your speed as well. Okay, let's look at the left hand technique. We'll start with our thumb. Our thumb needs to be placed flat on the back of the neck, parallel to the frets, and we'll place it between frets 1 and 2 for this entire piece. We'll want to have our fingertips pushing as straight down as possible on the string when we play, and placed as close to the fret as possible. At times I find myself overcompensating when I play by pushing too hard on the string. This causes fatigue, which isn't desirable. Try this. Let's fret the 3rd string, 5th fret with our 3rd finger, but we won't push down on the string. We'll get it to be muted like this, and we'll play that string. Then we'll push it ever so slightly to get it to buzz but make a tone. And you'll notice you're not pushing very hard. There should be no tension in your thumb or anywhere in your left hand. Then the next step is to slightly push down so you eliminate the buzz, but not overplay, just enough to get rid of the buzz. And you'll notice your hand has no tension, your thumb is not pushing hard against the back, just enough pressure to have a clean tone. We could play like this every time we push a string. That's it for technique. Let's get into the piece.